Aha, me boys will be delighted. Feel up, dirty ball.
Are we clean? We're good?
We're clean. We're podcasting here from Water Street in St. John's, the Great Big Studio.
Live from Great Big Studios.
A little trip down memory lane here on this section of Podcast World. We've been talking a lot about bands that have opened for us over the years.
Yeah, and I think now, what I'd like to do, Bob, if it's okay with you,
I'm all over it, man.
is to reminisce a little bit about the great big picnics we used to the barbecues we used to throw for our friends.
Not one of our great money-making ideas, but in terms of our fun per square inch, definitely.
Well, the first one actually made money, but by the time we paid all the fines that it incurred, and
Indeed, yeah, that was a
it didn't
negative.
go well. I mean, we didn't expect a lot of people to show up and stuff, but
I remember the last one. The last one was my favorite. We did 12,000 people in St. John's, 6,000 people in PEI, and almost 20,000 in Halifax. And me and you and Daryl and Alan and Louis split less than $2,000.
yeah, it was a bit of a lesson.
It's like, okay, something's wrong with this picture here, boys.
So if you're one of those people that have sent questions and asking why we don't, this is why. This is actually from, we actually did two, if you recall, Bob. Great Big
Three
Picnics.
Great Big Picnics, actually.
No, but there was two in the same venue. The first one at Feeling Grounds
Yes.
went off rather well.
Yes, it did,
It was like probably 6,000 people.
Yeah, it was a very pleasant day. Yeah.
And one of the bands opening up for us was this band, which features a beautiful lead singer, Sarah Harmer. And you might even recognize this song, but this is Weeping Tile, and the song is Basement Apartment. It's from the Weeping Tile EP.
Really. And they were at that picnic. They opened for us at that picnic.
They were at that picnic, yeah.
I remember Gordy Johnson was there. I can't remember who else, but
Weeping Tile were the first ones up.
Blue Rodeo?
No, they were the next year.
so that wasn't a big deal. There was not a big pile of people there.
Well, it was a comfortable. It was a success. It was like 5,000 or 6,000.
Oh no, it was, but it wasn't. Huge bands and big names. It wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, the next year is when it all went to shit.
Oh, completely.
No, we made scads money and then had to pay it back in fines. This is the original version of Basement Apartment for all you Sarah Harmer fans. Remember, I fell right in love with her from the get-go.
I had totally forgotten that they were on that.
She actually sang on one of our records. She sang a duet with me, Captain
did?
Wedderburn.
Yeah,
She sang the
Captain
female part, yeah.
recorded live at the
Apple Blossom Festival in
Blossom
Wolfville
Festival
in a
in
big
Wolfville.
ballpark with about 10,000 people on a beautiful day. And she was gorgeous. Well, Sarah, we'll come back to you later because you've opened up for us in other
incarnations.
incarnations.
Ah, those picnics, man. I have so many memories, all of them stupid.
Well,
I
that was
remember the
first one.
second picnic. The first one was successful. I don't remember that one as well because I was really nervous about us having to go broke and move to Toronto and change our names. But the second one I remember better because I lived
It's all very risky.
at
Really.
the time. I lived about a kilometer away from the venue.
Safer to
And-
play Nevada tickets, really.
I mean a kilometer, like a fair trot, but I could just hear it. And about 3 o'clock when, in theory, the bulk of the crowd was supposed to be going in. And we knew we had about 15,000 tickets sold, and they were still selling tickets. And there was some debate as to whether the venue could actually hold that many people, but tickets were still being sold. And I was in the back of the house. I was like too nervous to go to the venue, and worried about it on the phone all the time. This is pre-cell phone too, so it took forever to find out anything. Anyway, I heard this big racket in the street, and I'm like, "Geez, what the hell is this? Like, what's going on in the street? Is there a riot? Is there a fight?" And I looked out the window, and it was the end of the line for the front gates, snaking past my house, a fucking kilometer away from the venue. And I'm like, "Oh my god! Oh, it's all come off. It's come completely off the rails. The lineup is now at my house, a full kilometer away from the venue, and everyone is loaded, and they're all, hey, this is the lineup."
Yeah.
I remember phoning the promoter in an absolute panic, going, "The lineup is at my house. We're screwed. We're gonna get arrested. We're dead."
I play hockey with a lot of Newfoundland's finest, the RNC, and they Got a lot of calls at my house saying, "You should come down here now."
I'm serious, bro.
I've been drinking for a couple hours, and I think I'm going to have to go to work now, and I think you're going to have to pay me. I said, "Okay, lads, whatever you got to do." Back to the first picnic, though. There was some you didn't remember this, but the Waltons played that show as well.
The Waltons played
The
that
Waltons played that show as well.
show. Man, it's a big blur.
This is a great record. This is the Waltons' "Lick My Tractor."
Where's the Like My Tractor? I think it's Like My Tractor.
Well, it's L-I-K.
I know, I think it's a joke.
Well, that
It
clears
could be
things up.
Lick, actually, I'm not sure.
I thought it was like, kiss the cot type thing, lick my tractor, they're from the prairies. Maybe that's something they do to, like...
It's kind of the great lost Canadian band. Everyone loved this band. Jason Plum's a great singer, great songwriter. But wow, I didn't know the Waltons were on that gig. That's freaking me out. That was the first picnic,
Yeah.
and this is the first great picnic.
I think we're going
First
to be...
great big picnic at Field and Gardens in St. John's, which was followed by, and that did not travel that year. It just happened in St. John's.
Yeah. Jason Plum, great lad. He's opened up for a solo since. Don't know what he's at now.
So what else have you got from the great big picnics?
I actually got some Big Sugar here, and they were on the...
They were on several picnics, several versions
picnics,
of
but
picnics.
they were on the... I think they were on the first one as well. I think they were on the very
They were
first.
on the first one, and they were also on the second one.
Yeah, and I think they were on third as well.
Were they on the third? I don't remember them being on the third one. I remember they were on the first two, because I remember the...
No, Blue Rodeo was on the third.
The
yeah.
second one we played. The
Now,
second
this is a-
one. The
this is a
second
burn,
one
is
went.
it?
Both. There was 3 years of Great Big Picnics. The first one was St. John's only. The second one was Moncton, St. John's, and Halifax, and the third one was Summerside, PEI, Halifax, and St. John's on the same weekend, which was ambitious. Required us to charter a jet plane, which is why we
Lost a ton.
managed
of
to
money.
lose almost $500,000 in the space of 3 days. Also, we hired Los Lobos and the Chieftains and Blue Rodeo.
Yeah.
Ah, those were the days.
This to me is Big Sugar. Fabulous band. Like we've seen them so many times. I know the first time I saw them was in Minneapolis in a bar. The only problem with the band, if you saw them indoors at all, was that they would rip your face off. Like the flesh would come right off your skull. They were so loud. I mean, they actually had a drummer die on stage.
They had a drummer die. Yeah.
Fabulous. Gary on the bass with the old reggae. I remember asking him in Minneapolis, where are you
There
going
it
tomorrow,
is.
Gary? I don't know, man, where we're going, man. It doesn't make no difference, man. Have some spliff. Yeah, we're going to, I don't care, man. Where you go, man? We all go in the same direction, man. We all go in the ground, man. We all go in the ground, man, eventually, you know. Don't worry about it, man. Have some spliff. I remember...
That's a perfect attitude for the road too. Where are we going? Oh, we're going in the ground, man. Eventually,
we're all going the
now
same
then,
way, man. Into
we're-
the earth, man, where we all come from, man.
we're playing some gigs in between here
We're
and
from
there.
fire, we're from dirt, man.
I wish I'd met that guy.
He was on the bus, man. He must
I
have
know,
been
man.
asleep.
I went to bed or something.
Bob was reading the book in the back. I remember once he was at one of these picnics. We were at the Duke afterwards, and he said, "I'd like to produce your track. I want to produce your next record." 'Cause he
Yes.
speaks with a southern drawl, right? And I'm like, "Whoa, what would you do? You know, Gord? I mean, like, 'cause we're nothing alike." And he said, "I'd take that. I'd turn your vocals up loud. I mean, really loud. Take that ball around you're playing, and I'd make that loud as I would make that so loud." And I just kind of backed away. I just thought that was really strange.
I don't know. I can't make up my mind about Gordy. Is he a genius or is he crazy? Right? He's
Oh, I love this again. Like,
one of the Canadian music scene's great characters. I mean,
well, put it frankly, like this band, as different as they are from us, they're completely different planet. Blues, reggae, Led Zeppelin, Bob Marley, and our fans love this band.
Gordy's a very charming man, and he has the ability to make a crowd like him. That's a rare quantity.
They're a great band. Fabulous. Big Sugar, sad loss. Actually, Kelly, Iceman Kelly, the harmonica player, is married to a Newfoundland girl.
Is he really?
Yeah, he comes back here every summer.
Small world.
Last summer I took him out. He just happened to hit my stag party, which was on a boat on O'Brien's Bird Island Church. He won't do that again. Anyway,
One of those festivals featured a young band from Cape Breton Island, by way of Sydney, called Slanchava, which was started by the two younger brothers of the Barrett McNeil's clan, and an amazing live band.
yeah. We actually saw them in Denmark, and I saw them tear a tent to pieces. And it was more like Buddy was playing like that PVC pipe and stuff, like it was a didgeridoo. I was confusing Boyd or Ryan, I'm not sure.
Boyd played
Who's the piper?
Bruce McPhee, and Boyd played.
Isn't Bruce the drummer? Bruce is the drummer. He's the big ripped up drummer guy. Yeah.
No, that's
he
no,
played
that's,
with
that's not Bruce. That's
Brian. No.
Brian. Boyd actually played. We call that rattly thing.
Kabasa.
The kielbasa on Jack Hinks on the turnout.
He did, yeah.
He was like 12. He just came in and played it, and then they didn't even know who he was.
Great band.
I actually got his name wrong on the album. That's how little we knew about him.
That's and we still confused.
This guy came in, played kielbasa, and left again. Everyone, who's that? I think his name is Ryan. Oh, Ryan, right on.
Well, here's okay. Is Boyd the Barry McNeil or is Ryan?
They're both in the Barry McNeils now.
Yeah, but is it Ryan McNeil or is it Boyd the brother of
Boyd
Kyle?
and Ryan are both younger brothers of Kyle.
Well, I thought they were cousins.
No, Boyd is the youngest.
Anyway, whatever's on what was the Play album, right?
It's on the Turn album.
On the Turn album, so whoever's credited with being
We credited
Playing-
Ryan, but Boyd actually didn't.
Boyd did it right.
We fucked up his name. Anyway, Slanchava played us. We tried to make up for our stupidity by featuring him on the second run of Great Big Picnics, which took place in Moncton, St. John's, and Halifax in the summer of 1998.
Man, these guys are wicked. Saw them in Tuna. I was so glad that they weren't opening up for us because the reaction in this smaller tent than what we were playing in, but they just ate it alive. It's insane. Okay. I'm gonna go to something completely different now, though. I do know when these guys played with us, and that was the Halifax, the one where we lost a really lot of money. Big picnic. When we started to take the picnics on the road is when we started to actually bleed money.
Well, the second year was not so bad. St. John's was a bit of a disaster because we got in all sorts of trouble politically. But we didn't lose money.
In fact, we were never allowed. We haven't been invited to play St.
No,
John's.
that was the end of St. John's. But the third year, when we played Summerside PI's Mount Pearl and then Halifax, when we had all the big bands, that was the year that it all went kablooey. I mean, it didn't go kablooey. We didn't lose any money, but we made nothing. And it was sucked up a full year of everyone's time and efforts. And, you know, it was essentially our office did nothing else for a year other than plan the picnic. And we all, you know, shat our collective pants worrying about the weather and the bands and renting a plane and blah,
We
blah,
never
blah,
canceled
blah,
the show,
blah, blah. Nope.
Do you remember this band? What a cover.
Brand Band 3000, who played opened for us in Halifax at the last of the Great Picnics. Perhaps the greatest of the Great Picnics.
These guys are over the top.
They stuck out like a zucchini in a field of sunflowers.
They had their own, like all the kids loved them, and I bought the record after. This is
I
brand
remember
new.
they're all wearing angel wings and bee wings and all that kind of
There's
stuff.
like 30 of them, right? They were like,
They're very entertaining.
they were all dressed in, I think ecstasy is the only explanation for this band,
That
actually.
was the hit Drinking in L.A. or something like that.
Drinking in LA, yeah.
Drinking in L.A.
I just wanna take you there. Baby, I don't wanna argue.
Yeah. Brian Van 3000. Not very Celtic.
Not Celtic, no.
Not so much. There were several women in the band. I don't know what they did. They were dressed in bee suits with antennae.
There was bee girls who did something, but didn't really do much of anything.
And I can guarantee this: none of them knew who we were.
No, it was.
We were the headlining act, but they didn't know and could give a shit.
That was a great moment, man.
That was the Halifax
That was a
one.
great moment. We're spending billions of dollars on these bands that no one likes anything else.
All for your entertainment, everybody, just to make sure everyone's happy.
The Great Big Picnics.
Something for everything at the Great Big Picnic, except us. This is actually a step backwards. These guys open up for us at the first two here in Newfoundland as well. Big Toronto band. Not very Celtic. This is Sky Diggers. Yeah.
Wow.
I think they were on the second one. If not the first and second. Check it out, man. I got the old posters home too. You don't remember these guys?
No, I remember the Skydiggers. I had no idea they were on that Kingdom. I would not have said Skydiggers were on that show.
Really?
Yeah.
I could be wrong, I guess. But...
I don't remember the Skydiggers ever opening for us.
Oh, definitely. Well, maybe I'm wrong.
But it's possible because it was all Canadian bands for the first 2 years.
Don't know. This might be a management call.
It could very
Anyway,
well
I'm a
have been
huge fan.
national
I
call.
love this stuff. I like Rogue Radio. This is Sky Diggers Rogue Radio. It could be that they were on the Stardust picnics.
They were definitely on the Stardust Picnics,
Okay.
which was similar.
Maybe they should be included in the...
I know they were on both the Toronto Stardust Picnics.
You know what? We're ahead of ourselves.
That's all right.
That's
well,
okay.
this is a good segue from the Great Big Picnics into the Stardust Picnics.
Okay. We can do that, but we've missed one important band. Which is not a big deal, because, you know, it's just the Chieftains, man.
Just Chieftains. We already
Fuck
talked.
We already had the Boron player. He's the most important.
Enough about the Chieftains.
Okay, then. Sky Diggers. Now we're now into Stardust Picnic Land.
Should we stop and reconvene that one at a later date?
Sure, bye.